record. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming to another edition of Oil Camp. Today we're going to talk about gardening. Now, I have to confess, I am not a great gardener. And so I don't even have a garden. I'm not even attempting that. I'm not in that season of life, that chapter in my life. I do have that as a goal one day, but not at the moment. So I'm really excited to learn so I can prepare myself and do this, because I have the wonderful Sarah with us here tonight, and she is going to walk us through some of the things that she's been learning in her garden with these wonderful oils. And yeah, just going to enlighten us all. I'm excited to see as we're learning together. Sarah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So just a little background, I started my personal owned garden last year, was my first one. So this is my second year with a garden. And just a lot of things started happening as the season went on. Like I started getting more bugs and I didn't really know how to handle them. So I kind of just let them take over. So I haven't used all these techniques, but I'm super excited to try most of them because what I have used have worked really well. We can go to the next slide. Okay, so why garden with essential oils? There are so many reasons. It's natural and safe to use around your family, around your pets. We all know that doTERRA has the highest quality of oils. So if you use doTERRA, they are potent, powerful, and very effective. They're a great alternative to harsh chemicals and pesticides. Most of us know that chemicals and pesticides can not only be bad for us, but bad for the environment. And they offer versatile options for gardening, and they're very cost effective. So the science behind using essential oils for gardening. Essential oils have chemical components that determine their different benefits. So, some oils are going to be great for bugs and some oils are going to be great for weeds. And you just have to look up to see what each oil can give you. And then many oils contain different properties that can help naturally care for and maintain gardens. So we'll get more into that. Safety guidelines, always make sure that you use pure therapeutic grade essential oils for the best results, aka doTERRA. Because they are so potent, a little goes a long way. And because you're using these oils on your garden, whether it's flowers or vegetables or fruits, always test before using to make sure that, maybe you added too many drops. You don't want to ruin your produce. And then make sure that you're storing your oils in a safe space. So you don't want to leave them out in the sun or somewhere where they're going to get too hot. So I started with homemade weed killer because I recently did this and I just dove deep into it. So why should you make your own weed killer? You should not be killing, or I guess you can do what you want, but try to kill weeds with chemicals, or you don't want to kill weeds with chemicals and damage the soil with toxins, toxic herbicides like Roundup. So when you use weed killer, you're not only killing the weed, but you're killing all the nutrients in the soil. And then that will make it so that when you actually want to plant something, that it will not grow, or it won't grow as well. Herbicides have carcinogens, and we know that carcinogens are causes of cancer. So they're just extremely dangerous.
And they're killing all the bees as well.
They're killing everything. Bees,
Yeah.
Butterflies. It's in our
Pollinator.
water. It's everywhere.
Can't live without pollinators.
Yep. So I went into some facts. So facts about the weed killer. In 2017, California's Environmental Protection Agency's Office of Environmental Health Hazard Assessment issued a statement saying that, I don't know how to say this word. Lisa?
Glyphosate. So glyphosate is what's killing all the bees, and it's really, really bad for you.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, it's an active ingredient in Monsanto's Roundup weed killer. It's a chemical known to cause cancer, and they added it to the state's list of chemicals that is known. And like Lorelai said, it doesn't only harm like us humans, but it harms the pollinators. And we all know that like as soon as one part of the ecosystem falls, then everything's going to fall. So they're really bad. Oh, why it's bad. So it kind of went into like even the World Health Organization said in 2014 that it is a probable human carcinogen. And this is like one of the reasons I wanted to use essential oils in the first place, was to get these toxins out and just to make sure that I had a better understanding of how to live a non-toxic life before I started having kids. So here is how I made my homemade weed killer. I have the materials and the instructions. I think I actually ended up using 60% vinegar. We got it from Home Depot. So 1 gallon of that, some salt. I used clove. And then you can use citrus oils. I used lemon and lime. That's what I had on hand. Citrus oils are super effective because when they're in the sun, they have like a burning property. And then some liquid dish soap. I use the Castile soap, and then just your garden sprayer. I made sure I did it the other day. So it was like 95 degrees out. I did it in the morning. They say that if you can let this mixture actually sit inside of the container overnight, because then it will help the salt and soap dissolve together and it will not clog your weed sprayer. I didn't do that. So mine got pretty clogged and have to like shake it up and unclog it often. But so I did this in the morning, probably around 8 a.m. And within 2 hours, all of my weeds were completely dead. So it's pretty awesome. But very powerful. Like
So
don't get it
cool.
on. Yeah, super cool. But like
I'm
be
excited to make this.
Yeah,
I've
dude,
never done this.
Sure.
it's insane. I took pictures of it. Oh, that's what I posted on my thing today. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so doTERRA customized pest control. So just remember that a little goes a long ways. Essential oils are powerful, so apply to plants sparingly. You don't want to damage any of your produce. However, because we're diluting, once you know what works, several applications every few days may be necessary. And remember that if you don't have all the oils listed, that's totally okay. You can use what you have, or you can look up a similar oil and it should work. So aphids were like my #1 problem last year. They started on my kale and then they just went wild. So I'm super excited for this one. It said like 12 to 16 ounce bottle, some water, again, natural soap. And then you can use any of these. So peppermint, sandalwood, or white fir. You combine them and make sure you shake the bottle frequently. And all the recipes that are going to come up, they're pretty much like very similar when it comes to bottle, water, and soap size or amount. And then the oils are just going to be different. But I'm super excited for this one because I know they're coming. Okay, ants, spiders, and caterpillars. So again, bottle is the same, water is the same, and soap, but these guys, you just need peppermint. So I've heard some incredible things like if you see an ant line marching anywhere, whether it's inside your house or outside, if you just spray this mixture of peppermint in it, they go completely away, which I have a huge ant problem, especially by my hummingbird feeders, because they drip that sugary water.
It's pretty fun. Like if you find a ant colony, you know, like where they're living and they're all like crowded around that entrance, to put a drop of peppermint right in that big like pile of ants, and they just, it's almost like a bomb went out. They just scatter, just totally scatter. It's pretty crazy.
That's awesome. Do you know, I don't know this, does the peppermint harm the ants or do they just not like it?
I don't know. I think it's probably just really, really potent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that myself. I was like, oh, I need to look into this and see if it's actually hurting them or if it's simply repelling them.
Yeah. That's something I would like to know too. Cause like, spiders can be good,
Right.
but you don't always want spiders like where you're constantly at.
Yeah, exactly.
Beetles. In the north end, we have these beetles everywhere. They're disgusting. So these guys, you could use peppermint or thyme, but again, like same ingredients, same bottle size. Yep. Slugs. I don't get too many slugs, but I know like, especially in like the Portland area where it rains a lot more, slugs are crazy. And these guys don't like white fur.
Has anybody done just like salt on?
Yeah,
I
like
went around with my grandma. I remember when I was a little girl at like north of Seattle area. She lived in like Stevens, and we would go around her garden and we would put salt on all the slugs.
I remember doing it, but I think it hurts them.
Oh yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah, and I think like actually, I think it was last year I saw a slug and I was like, I'm gonna put salt on it. And I did, and I felt so bad. I took it inside and like washed it off. And
Oh,
like that's yeah, it made me sad. Snails. Again, I don't really see this too much in Boise. Maybe that's just my garden. But they don't like patchouli or white fur as well. And then same materials and instructions. Ticks. I feel like this is huge everywhere. Lemongrass, lavender, and thyme. So super excited to try that.
ooh, yeah, for sure. And this, I mean, okay, water, soap, lavender, lemon last time, like this, let's see, I'm pretty sure all these are perfectly safe for your little animal guys,
Yeah.
like to spray on your dog if you're like going out. Um, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Gabrielle, Gabby, I was just thinking that like seems like it'd be great for us, for our dogs, for our, yeah.
For
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
with this,
Oh
like
yeah,
we
my
could
kids
put
too.
this on ourselves, but like with the dogs, we would have to use a lot less oil, right?
For sure, for sure. I mean, it is 12 to 16 ounces. I'd have to look at
The graph.
the dilution ratio on that,
Okay.
but I mean, that's a lot of ounces. And
Okay.
then it's going to be distributed throughout because of the soap that you have in there.
Mhm.
And so I mean, one drop, I would say one drop per ounce and you're good. You're
Okay.
absolutely good. So maybe reduce it down to 8 and pick you know, several of each of these. Lorelai, do you have? Yeah.
For dogs, I don't know. That's a big bottle. First of all, I probably wouldn't use like maybe, I don't know, maybe if I was going camping for a while, but I'd probably do like a 4-ounce bottle with
Mhm.
a cup, like 1 or 2 drops of each. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so I think you'd be absolutely safe with kids, with dogs. Maybe you'd cut it in half for cats. And double check the list on cats as to which ones might be harmful. But I think if you stuck with 1 drop per ounce, I think you'd be good for the dog, for dilution for dogs and kids.
Cool. Yeah, so fungus eliminator, that can be so many different things. Just different types of mold and bacteria growing on your plants. So this was a gallon of water. This would be like in the spray thing you could use with the weeds as well. So the gallon of water, 5 drops of tea tree oil, 1 drop oregano, a tablespoon of Castile soap, and 3 tablespoons of baking soda. Again, like I would test this first on like a leaf or two, and then if you know it's not going to harm it, then that's when you would do it like about once a week. And it says to do it in the morning or evening. So not in the heat of the day.
Do you think this would be a good one? Like this is a gallon, but could you maybe refill a little spray bottle or something and like on produce that you get to kind of prevent some spoilage maybe?
I don't know. That would be interesting to try for sure. I've never done that. Gabby, you're wondering about indoor plants. I don't know. I would have to look into it and or test it. But then you have to be willing to spare an indoor plant. Okay. So this was just something fun that I saw. So pollination boost spray. Again, an 8-ounce glass bottle, and then some water, lavender and wild orange. And it's just to attract all of those pollinators. Even though like we try to plant, well, some people try to like plant plants to attract them, still you might need a little extra boost to get them over there.
And so would you think, because of the wild orange and the citruses, you think kind of spraying this on the, like at the base of the plant, more on the soil rather than on the plant itself?
I haven't tried this one. Where I found it, it said to spray it on the flowers and the buds, but like you said, like the orange can be like it can burn. So I don't know. I wonder if it would affect the flower.
Yeah, and I think you could definitely experiment with this one. I mean, just think of any other flower one, right? Like a geranium or patchouli or something like that.
Absolutely.
You could go crazy with that one.
Do a science experiment. That's all I have for today.
Sarah, where did you get your little sprayer? Home Depot?
Yep, it was like 10 bucks.
I have I have this section in my garden that's like a path, like a walkway with slate. Yeah. And like the weeds always try to pop through.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just gonna do it and like go through that whole little patio area.
Absolutely. So I like with this 1 gallon, I did a huge space on both sides of our walkway, like by our house. And then I also did like part of our drive park area or car park, I guess. And to do our entire property, which like we have a lot of outdoor weed space, I think we need to do like 3 of these and we'd be good. But like, it's just, it's pretty insane how quickly and how well it worked.
That's really cool. You just went to Home Depot?
Yep. Yeah. And I was going to say, so I think Derek actually picked up 60% vinegar. This recipe called for 45, which I think would be great. I highly, highly recommend wearing some sort of filtering mask if you use 60% vinegar. I had a really hard time breathing at first when I like started using it and spraying it. It is just so strong. And so I had to go get, like Derek has a filtering mask for the wood shop. And even with that mask on, I could still, like, I smelled like vinegar and I could still smell the vinegar for a long time. It's very potent.
Got it. Yeah, because I think I'll need to check the vinegar that I have. But yeah. Cool. Yeah, because I think we have a garden sprayer thing, but I think it might have had some bad, like some glyphosate stuff.
Yeah.
Glyphosate. I've been saying it wrong for like years and years, and so now I'm trying to figure out how to say glyphosate. See? Because I thought it was glycophosphate. I was like I was going back to like organic chemistry days. Anyways, cool. Yeah, because so I was wanting to get a new one, a different one that I know didn't have any glyphosate in it.
Yeah.
And it gets in the runoff water, then it gets in the river.
Yeah.
It
Well,
hurts a lot of things.
it's scary
then-
because I know that they use it in our schools, around our schools and stuff too.
Oh
They use
no.
it everywhere. Yeah.
So, but we're trying to raise awareness about it and get that changed. So here's hoping.
Yeah. And then I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again. So like I made the whole mixture and then I thought I shook it up enough and like started spraying. And within like the first few minutes, it was already clogged. So if you can, I think the easiest thing would be to make it at night and then just let it sit. Because then you don't have to like wait or do much work.
Perfect. Cool. Any other questions from anybody?
Gabby doesn't have a question, but she had a little comment I'd like to share. She said, I'm excited to test some of these. We have an ant problem due to our children who think food belongs on the floor. I'll let you know how it goes.
For sure. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Well, sounds good.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Sarah. This was perfect. Thank you so much. So I will get this posted and up onto YouTube. So if you're watching this from YouTube, be sure to like and consider subscribing so you can be sure to get all these new trainings that we post almost weekly. So at least several a month. And if you have any questions, just comment below and we'll be sure to answer them and help you out how best we can. So thank you, everybody. Have a great night, and we will talk to you later.